Good morning.
Good morning.
So good to have you guys on the show.
30 years.
I know, I'm sorry. It's the way you both went, oh, God.
Were you born then, either of you? I mean...
I think I was reading the brief. It was 1988, the year before. I was born in 89. That's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, I love it.
So you would have been a baby.
Well, this is pressure for us interviewing you, you know.
It wasn't scary enough.
We'll get it right, you know.
I know.
Yeah, that's
Thanks, yeah. Doing this in front of you guys.
No, you're doing you haven't worked together before, have you?
No, obviously we've worked together for years and years in the
No,
group,
but I mean on
never
like this.
Like this.
Yeah.
We're having a ball, though, aren't we?
Having a very
Enough about us. Enough about us.
Oh, yeah, all right, sorry.
Tell us about this search for the bestseller competition, then.
It's a kind of an offshoot of the Richard and Judy book club, which
Yes.
we do with W.H. Smith. This is something that we've set up with Bonnier and Zaffre, who are the publishers. And basically, we just ask anybody who thinks they've got a novel in them, and a lot of people think they have, to submit 10,000 words to the publishers. And they did in their droves. And then the publishers, thank God, have a big team who go through them all, and they cut them down to a short list of 5. They have to do a synopsis as well, don't they? And say how the novel...
10,000 words.
10,000 words in the synopsis.
10,000 words, which is kind of enough for a publisher or us, really, to look at, to think, hey, this is really interesting, or no, this isn't going to work. Plus a synopsis of what's going to happen in the rest of the novel. And then they've got to be completely unpublished, completely unknown.
Yeah, they've got to be debut writers. They've never been not self-published, not published at all. And then it comes down to 5, and we look at them and we kick it around, and this was the winner. The Unexpected Return of Josephine Fox by Claire Great-Gravidge. Claire, if you're watching...
There you go.
There it is.
Well done.
It's set in 1940. It's set at the beginning of the war, during the Blitz. And it's about this extraordinary woman who's had a horrible childhood 30 years before, where basically she was born out of wedlock. She was a bastard child, and that brought great shame on her family. Her mother was cast out, and then she was cast out when she was 14. And we come back to her about 30 years later, and she's come back to this little town in Hampshire where she used to live and where she was chucked out by her family and her vicious grandfather to find out what happened. Why was her mother treated so badly? What happened to her mother? And why was her grandfather so foul to her? And she walks in on a murder, basically. There's a bomb. There's a German bomb, and it kills 7 people that were known to be in this pub, and then they find an 8th body that shouldn't be there, the young girl. And she's a mystery. No one knows who she is. And she ends up working on this mystery while she also works out on her own mystery. So it's a really unusual story, and she's a very strong character, isn't she?
Yeah, she's very unusual. She's, you know, for 1941, she is a grown woman now, in her 30s, but she's a very strong, modern sort of person in her approach to things.
For back then.
Yeah, for back then.
Yeah. She doesn't take any rubbish from anybody.
She knows exactly what she wants. She's in a, you know, she's not in a good place. She, you know, everybody in the village knows that she was born out of wedlock, and there's some terrible secret about her birth. She doesn't know who her father was. Nobody. Well, some people do know who her father was, but she knows it, but won't tell her. And she is very much kind of cast out. And everybody kind of assumes that because she was born out of wedlock, therefore the kind of morals of the time have kind of transferred onto her because she's the illegitimate girl. In fact, she's a really nice,
Judy,
very modern girl.
Isn't this weird being interviewed on this morning?
I know. Do you know how weird it is for us?
Walking through a mirror. I keep wanting to thank you and turn to the camera and say, Richard and Judy staying with us.
You can do that.
You can do it if you want to.
Go for it.
Anyway, it's a really good book. It's really interesting, very unusual, and congratulations,
And
Claire.
I'll give it one more name check if that's right.
Yeah.
The Unexpected Return of Josephine Fox by Claire Great-Gravidge. Well done, Claire.
But this must be, for you guys, obviously, you know, starting off in TV, this must be a really special thing for you to do, to help, you know, publish somebody's book and, I guess, change their lives.
It's one of the best things about this competition and the book club generally, because we get a lot of debut writers published in the Richard and Judy book club too, and it gives us a real kick, especially when we meet them and we interview them for our podcast and all the rest of it. And, you know, they're so made up because it's very hard to get published, you know. No matter how good the book is you've written, it's really hard to get...
But you're kick-starting that.
We're giving them a kick-start, and they're obviously very grateful. We're grateful to them because, you know, they make the book club what it is. And the thing is, people have come to trust us now, you know. If you go into W.H. Smith and you see the Richard and Judy collection, you know that they're going to be 6 to 8 really good stories. You know, they're not, you know, you're not going to buy a dud. They are good.
Well, I had my mum over last night, and I said that we were going to be chatting to you guys, and my mum was like, I only buy books that you guys have recommended. I was like, yes, Mum,
there you go.
Thank you, Mummy's mum. Fantastic.
You guys obviously are really successful authors in your own right as well. How hard is it to write a real page-turner?
Hard.
Yeah.
Much harder than you think. I think when you first start, I mean, if you've got an idea in your head, if you've got one of these people who, like me, thought for years that I would like to write this book, but had no time because I was doing other stuff, and then you sit down and you start to write it, that's not too bad, the first one, because you've had it in your head for years, and you know exactly what you're doing, and then you think, right, OK, and then the publishers say, right, we'd like another one,
It did so well, we want another one.
Yeah, well, and it can be very hard.
It's like saying, I can only cook chicken.
Yeah. It must be daunting, though.
Yeah,
because it's daunting.
Well, it's like possibly what you used to do in music. You just need a kind of a starting point. That's a lyric that comes into your head, or a melody. You think, oh, yeah, that's it. That's the song. That's the line. That's the opening line. And it's a bit like that, I find, anyway, with writing, that I can walk around in a bit of a daze as I'm starting to focus on what the story should be. And then, here's a good example, the name of the main character will come to me. Now, the last book I wrote was called The Night Book, and the central character is a woman who kills her husband. She does it very subtly, but she definitely kills him.
Right.
But I couldn't get
Subtly.
started.
I love that. She subtly killed her husband.
As long as it's subtle.
But I couldn't get started because I couldn't think of her name, and I had lists of names and Googling names. And then I met somebody, a TV producer, who said, hello, Richard, I'm your producer, I'm Meriel. I said, what? What was that? And she said, I'm Meriel. I said, how do you spell that? She said, M-E-R-I-E-L. I said, thank God, that's the name of my character.
Name.
And the next day I started writing, because suddenly she'd become real to me.
Penny drops, yeah.
That is brilliant, isn't it?
Well, obviously, you're very busy with this, with your book club, etc. But, you know, most importantly of all, your grandparents.
Oh, yes.
To 3 little ones. And, I mean, I know from my mum, it's sort of, you're busier than ever when you're grandparents, right?
Yeah, well, you can't... I mean, our first two, who are the oldest two little girls, Ivy is 6 and Edith is about 18 months now. Yeah, she's 18 months. But they live in Manchester, so that's sort of, which is my hometown. Yes. And I'm very, very glad that my son Tom and his wife Davina live in Manchester, but it's annoying because you just...
of course.
It's a special kind of... you have to arrange to meet up, whatever.
Yeah.
And then our latest one, Kit, who's just 1, well, they live in London, and it's just astonishing, just how much that we've been able to see them. Talking about being busy, we've just been in France with them, haven't we?
We've been out for 2 weeks in France with them, and Jack and Izzy, my son and his fiancée, brought Kit with them. And Kit, all grandparents will tell you this, but he is a spectacularly good-looking baby. He really is beautiful. And I took him every morning into the local market town called Vence in Provence, with just me and him, to get the English papers, to get a coffee, get a croissant. And he was just a magnet for people. I mean, French people were coming,
proud granddad.
magnifique, oh, baby. And they'll go, cuckoo, cuckoo, and he was just loving it. He was laughing it up. But,
It's so special, though, isn't it?
It's
You know,
very
my
special.
mum always says it's a different kind of love. Because you've almost got more time to sort of... You watch them grow, you're not
right,
busy
it does
sort
feel
of getting it done. It's a different kind of love.
It's very happy love. It's less worried. You don't,
true,
you know, because when you have your own children, I think that you feel you love them very much, but your eyes are always glancing around for the next problem.
Yeah.
As a grandmother, you don't actually see that as much. You just see how beautiful this thing is and how lovely and gorgeous. So it's really satisfying. And actually, I don't think you know until it happens to you.
No.
Nobody can describe it to you, but it really is lovely.
Look, beaming.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, thank
So
you
happy
very
for you
much.
both.